Welcome to the Lone Jack Totally Off Track podcast, a family ran show with myself, Amanda, and my husband, Nolan, and my brother, Matthew, that is, well, a little bit off track. We will cover a wide range of topics. We don't take ourselves too seriously, and you shouldn't either. Thank you for being here, and we hope you enjoy the show.
Oh, we can start it at any time.
It's going.
We're starting.
Well, I know it's going now, but our pre-podcast chats are more entertaining than the actual podcast, I think.
Probably are, yeah.
I guess we just need to get on and start recording right away.
Yeah, well, that's what we were just talking about. Is that we can name names outside of the podcast, and not get sued for libel. But then again, nobody we're talking about is going to listen for a while.
Not unless we really blow up and get real things.
Yeah, they'll be like, what are those people talking about?
I guess. Is it talking crap if you're just talking about the truth? I mean,
I don't think so.
No, okay, perfect.
No. I think it's important to talk the truth.
Speak your mind. Speak your truth is actually what it is.
Well, I'm going to start with something, but it's a catching up thing.
Okay.
We went out for dinner last night, and as per usual, whenever we go out to eat, it is usually some sort of high school dance, prom, homecoming, every time.
Mm-hmm. It was prom.
So, are you saying it was packed, or are you saying that there were no chicks to pick up? Sorry. No, you said it's supposed to be more family friendly. You cut that part out.
It's just a bunch of high schoolers all dressed up, moseying around fancy places. Well, not fancy, I guess, just the resort.
Well, I mean, it is nice though because we dress up more than most restaurants. Like if we go out, like we look fancier than everyone else. So it is kind of nice when there's like a dance going on, because then we don't stand out really.
Yeah, because they're all wearing their ball gowns and
then we can just kind of fly under the radar and not look like the only people that dressed up to go out to dinner.
Apparently the thing that's in right now is bleached hair for dudes.
Mm-hmm.
Man, that's like early 2000s, late 90s coming back. Bleached hair.
They all look like little tennis balls.
Is it curly, or is it like Eminem? Is it like a buzz cut bleach?
It's like yours. If you bleached yours, it's like a shaggy bleached.
I think there was one dude that was short, like it wasn't super short, but it just stood straight up.
Or maybe Nolan's.
Like it was like maybe a 1/2 to 3/4 inch long, but it was, so it wasn't buzz, but it was just like a perfectly uniformed.
Yeah.
They call that the roach cut.
The roach cut?
The roach. You look like a cockroach. No, it doesn't matter.
Is that a thing that you can go into a barber and ask for?
I don't know. I don't go into a barber. The last barber I went into, she was a very lovely Asian lady, and she kept insisting I was Scottish, and I was like, I don't think I'm Scottish, and she goes, but you have red hair. It was the most fun I've had. It was the most blatantly racist conversation I ever had with a Chinese lady. I insisted she was Korean. No, I'm kidding.
North Korean.
I apparently just talk about breastfeeding with the person that cuts my hair.
Yeah. He came over to mom and dad's after his haircut and to eat lunch. And I was like, oh yeah, how did it go? What were you talking about? He's like, oh yeah, we were talking about this and that. We talked about breastfeeding, and dad's like, why would you talk with your hairdresser about breastfeeding? And so I told her, I was like, yeah, my dad thought that was freaky. And she's like, it's really not. I mean, we're friends and we like to talk about stuff. And anyway, so yeah, it's funny.
Grandpa Ray was telling me that he's like, I've been going to the same barber forever, and he's like, I'm just tired. He goes, I know that I give him $20 for cutting my hair, and he just goes right down to the grocery store and picks up a 6-pack of PBR. He goes, and I just got tired of the conversation. So now he's like, I go to this lady. She's got tattoos from her ears to her wrists. And she goes, man, she does a good job. And I know she's not going with my 20 and just buying alcohol right after she's done cutting my hair. This is progress, Grandpa.
That's
going
funny.
from an era where nobody had tattoos to women have tattoos to cutting his hair.
Yeah, that's funny.
I just got sick and tired. I know he was just going right to the grocery store and buying beer with my money.
That's funny.
Upset you wasn't taking you with him, huh, Grandpa?
Not sharing it, not having that at the hair cutting beforehand.
Mm-hmm.
Which they have places like that.
Yeah. Well, as a show, I started cutting my own hair. That's how cheap I am.
Twice a year.
Twice a year. Bald to this length, the bald to this length. Am I vain? We've talked about my hair every episode. About how
Pretty
long
much,
it is.
yeah.
I'm sorry. We'll leave it alone.
Well, that's because we're on the journey with you as you grow it out for Alaska. So, I mean, we got to stay updated on how long it's getting.
I asked my wife, I said, do you think I could go to like a black barber shop and then get cornrows? And she said, probably not. I think that's like doing blackface is getting cornrows. I think it's like the same kind of thing. So they might not let me get cornrows in a black barber shop. They might.
Well, I don't know, because like if you're like on a mission somewhere to a country that does that, like on a mission trip, they'll do cornrows for you. But maybe that's different if you're actually in the country.
It's America.
If you're actually in the country versus here.
Me going down to Aurora.
It's only
braid me up.
It's only in America that they care about such things, I think.
I don't know. Would I look good with cornrows? I think I would. I'd look like I've been to...
We'd be able to see your scalp.
I think that you
my scalp is even whiter than I am. That would be a good look.
You're more fit for dreadlocks, I think.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So you just need to start...
That's definitely more your vibe.
You need to start matting that stuff together.
Yeah, dread it out. Oh,
and I think you put stuff in it too. Like, I don't know.
Dirt.
I'm not sure what all, but like
Sewage.
they always have like ribbons and feathers, and so just like start like grabbing stuff from around the house and putting it in there.
Cat hair.
I'd look like a Boulder resident if I had dreadlocks. I was going to say, what would my boss's clients think when the plumber showed up? But then we work in Boulder quite a bit. So
you're a local.
This guy's been here a while.
More and more I see other like flooring people, and I realize that
you're an oddity.
Nolan, I'm not sure why that was the barrel that I was looking for a husband in, but Nolan, we see like people he's worked with, and then we see some of the other ones, and I'm just like, oh geez.
Yeah, imagine our surprise when you were telling me about Nolan. You go, oh yeah, he works for the flooring place. Who does he work with?
Were you just looking at it? That was the pool you decided to go check out.
Well, no, I just mean that's where I was working, but it just is funny.
And then we won't name names, but she said, "Oh yeah, he works with a guy named Matt," and I was like, "No, no, the same guy I'm thinking of, no."
Yeah.
You're bright red now. Everybody better log in to the YouTube to see how red she is.
Oh my goodness. Matt taught me quite a few Mennonite jokes.
Yeah, no.
I can't
No.
I can't repeat those, but I did
learn. You
already
have to edit me out enough.
Oh dear.
We did see in the grocery store, we saw a guy that I worked with at Carpmill for a long time, and I told Amanda, I was like, we always thought that if there was, like, if we heard that there was like a murder or something in Moscow, like the chances of him not showing up for work are really high.
Oh no, he's reformed now.
I don't know if he's reformed or not, but
I don't know if he noticed you or if you guys both just kind of ignored each other.
I don't know.
They walked right by each other and neither hide or smiled or waved or anything.
He was a kind of scary individual.
Next weekend for Easter, we are going to a restaurant called Spencer's. Not the store that you can buy dirty stuff at, but an actual restaurant. And it's
Do you know about Spencer's in the Spokane Valley Mall?
Yeah, we went there with them, remember?
Yeah, you took me there, sicko. I was a child. I was 15. No,
Yeah,
I was
you
20.
weren't.
It's okay. I was an adult. I'm sorry.
Like, that wasn't me. That was Amanda's other boyfriends. Sorry, I just had to make sure that he had been there. Go back to your story.
Yeah, Spencer's next weekend.
We're going to Spencer's.
Where's Spencer's at? Come on.
It's downtown Spokane.
Okay.
It's on Spokane Falls Road, so it must be just right in there. Maybe near Clinker Daggers or maybe by Anthony's. I'm not sure. It's somewhere in there though. And Grandpa, it was kind of funny. He's just like, it's so fancy. So Grandma must have made him take her there before, but he's just like, it's just so fancy. It's just too fancy. He did not sound excited to go to Easter dinner there.
Now, not to disparage our family, but we're all dirty rednecks. Is it actually fancy, or is it Red Lobster fancy?
No, it's like the other kind of restaurants that Nolan and I like to go to, where you order your meat, which is the entree, for $85, and then if you would like a side, they're like shareable sides for $40 or something.
Excellent. Which
not Red Lobster.
Yeah, okay. Which I would much rather do that, and I think this is why, like, the chain restaurants like Red Lobsters and Red Robins, I don't know, Red Robin's fun, but like restaurants like that are kind of going out of business because like, I don't know, I don't want anything from like Applebee's. I can just, my bad, cut that part out. I'm sorry, I got lost. I'm sorry, it slipped.
Lost in your thought.
I'm sorry.
You don't want Applebee's.
There's a pre-podcast briefing that there's a couple of words you can't use, and that's the one of them. It slipped out. I'd rather go to dinner like once every 3 months and go all out than go to dinner, once or twice, a month.
It's kind of funny because we would agree with that. Like, we like a good dinner, and it's so funny because like Mom and Dad are not like. When we've talked about some of the places we've gone, I think he's been super disappointed in us spending our money on such things. Then it's like, okay, well, but if we go out to dinner 3 times a year and spend whatever it is,
$1,500.
15 total or a meal?
No, total. I mean, that's not crazy. That's not crazy.
I thought you were meaning a meal, and I'm like, what do you think we eat?
I go to a place that's really nice. It's not much less than $200.
Yeah,
we didn't even have that kind of meal in Vegas, and that was an expensive one.
Yeah, anyway.
That was like $500 plus, I think, for the two of us.
Well, but we went. It was at the Bellagio, and it was down where if you ate out on the balcony by the fountains, you had to spend
$175 a person.
Yeah. So they had like a limit. Like, you couldn't sit out there if you weren't going to spend money. You couldn't just sit out there and drink a drink and call it a day.
To have like a meal there with, say, an appetizer and drinks, that's not a problem.
No. Well, it wasn't hard to reach, no.
But you can't just go have an appetizer and a drink like that.
I hear you. But to your point, what I would say is I was in Vegas. I don't remember a single place that we ate. I mean, we were there when you were there with me. I remember we went to the NFR. We were there 4 days, 3 days. I don't remember eating anything. But like to your guys' point, you have like a nice meal and you pay for the atmosphere, the quality of food. I mean, you can. It kind of helps put like a pin in the memory. Not saying you need to.
We like
you didn't gamble. It's not like
that's the thing is we
don't spend money on anything else.
Yeah.
I mean, last time I finally decided to play blackjack and I lost $100, and that was it.
Yep. Just reminds you that this isn't the movie 21 and keep moving. Yeah,
that's right.
But yeah, so like if you do that like just a couple times a year, instead of like eating at Applebee's 3 times a week, I mean, it all adds up to be the same. But it all adds up to be the same, except for our meals were a lot better.
Yeah.
And there's a memory with them.
Yeah. But anyway, so that's the plan for Easter. And so I think it'll be interesting. I don't know.
You taking J-Dog?
Yeah, because we're going.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it's like, yep, grandma, grandpa, Michelle, Mike, the boys probably, and girlfriends, and mom and dad and us, I guess. That's probably it. Is there 11 of us, I think?
Yeah.
But yeah, so I think it'll be
Pain train.
fun.
13 if you fly back.
Yeah, right? Just fly back just for Easter.
I don't know. I think I've played the popper enough, but I have this affliction called no money currently. In terms of money, I have little.
Yeah, well, I guess we'll do it probably another year, maybe. We'll see. Last year, the restaurant we went to was so loud, though. I'm going to sneeze.
It's okay.
And we went to this.
Phew, excuse me. I just bit my tongue.
Oh, my goodness.
Phew, excuse me. We went to the Steam Plant restaurant in Spokane. You know, they have like the towers.
Is that not Clinker Daggers? Isn't that the Steam Plant?
No, it's
okay.
It's
Steam Plant's on the other side of Main
toward
Street.
like the railroad tracks. Like,
okay.
It's like got the two towers that are lit up.
It's the old Steam Plant, right?
Yeah. Anyway, we were in there and it was so loud. And I'm pretty sure Grandma and Grandpa didn't hear one thing. And so I'm hoping this one, especially, which the Steam Plant restaurant is nice.
Mm-hmm.
It just was so loud for some reason.
And I don't know why, because there wasn't a lot of people where we were at.
Was it music? Was it echoey? I don't know.
I can't remember, but I remember it being loud. But
I was shouting the whole night and was barely like being able to talk to Nolan, who was right across from me.
But yeah, I don't remember who. That didn't seem like there was a lot of people. There's a bunch of different rooms or areas there, and we were like downstairs, I think, or something, and it didn't. I don't know that there was just a lot of people, but there was TVs playing, so maybe those were on, and
which I guess now that I'm remembering, I suppose, I think she had a reservation of a private room, but they lost our reservation, and so then they're like, "Well, we'll have to sit you down here or whatever."
So a failure on the restaurant's part.
So we were supposed to be somewhere quiet, but it didn't work. So hopefully this restaurant does have somewhere quiet, so we can actually talk, because, well, that's what's the best about a family gathering, is actually being able to talk with people.
Well, and like,
especially since I sit next to Nolan, and I'm like, oh, I don't really need to
talk to me more.
Well, I mean, I can, but I see you every day.
Yeah.
I don't see Grandpa every day.
No.
Or Glory or someone like that.
But yeah, I would guess that a restaurant like that probably is a little quieter and you can talk.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a restaurant in Vegas we've been to a couple times, STK Steakhouse. It's in the Cosmopolitan, and the first time we went there, we got seated in an area that was like quiet and romantic and dimly lit, where you could barely see the table, and
it was actually dark.
Yeah, it was hard to see your food.
I was like, "This is."
And then when we were there,
I could actually use a little more light.
When we were there last time, we got sat in a different area right next to a little, like a 10-foot bar area,
because there were three of us,
and that's where we got sat, and there was like 3 dudes that were at this fancy restaurant standing at the bar watching UFC on their phones, being very noisy, and then like they had to like kind of scoot them so we could even sit down. But then the best part was there was 2 older ladies right next to us, and like it was pretty close. Like I probably could have reached over and taken food off their table.
Did you?
No, but they were having a rough evening. They had ordered steak, and it came probably medium rare instead of well done. I'm guessing is what they wanted. Do you remember what they said?
I can't remember what she said she wanted, but she was just saying the steak was not cooked to that.
And the guy offered to go take it back and cook it longer, and she said, "No, get me a new one for $60-some bucks. I get steak." Because it was $60 for like a baseball sized steak, you know?
Yeah.
And
I mean, but it's like 8 ounces.
Yeah.
Or 12.
Yeah, because it's thick. Probably an 8 ounce steak.
Yeah, they're like thick, so they're not.
And
it's not just like this little puck.
He wasn't gonna they weren't gonna just get a new steak, but she didn't want it she didn't want it just thrown on the grill longer, and I don't know what. Then they kept bringing stuff out to try to make them happy, I guess, with the situation. And was it only the shots?
No, there was something else that they didn't like. I can't remember what it was.
I don't know if they brought out some cocktails or they brought out something, and then they didn't like that. And then they brought out shots, which we're thinking, who just brings out shots? Like, that's kind of a weird thing to just, like, gift someone because
but
you
we
didn't cook their
we
food
weren't
enough.
there the whole time, though. So the only thing I thought is that maybe they had ordered shots before, and so this was more shots for them.
Mm-hmm.
Like, to bring someone a random shot is kind of weird.
Of who knows what. But it was funny because
I wouldn't like that. I'd be like, I don't like just anything.
But they set it down in front of the one lady, and she just, well, here's a little bottle. I don't know if you can see. Can you see this?
No. There we go. I can see that. There we go.
She just went like this. Just went.
It's gonna fall.
She just like.
But with her hand flat like a snail.
She just like took it and just pushed it to the middle of the table.
It was pretty funny.
You know what? Every now and then you got to geese out a little bit. you got to prove a point.
They were a little hurt over the whole thing.
Yeah,
and it was pretty interesting to watch. And we're so close, like you couldn't help but.
Yeah, we were pretty much sitting at the table with them.
Yeah, you should ask. Hey, are you gonna?
If you're not gonna eat that steak,
yeah,
we will.
Whatever you guys don't want, just pass it right over here. We'll take the shots. We'll take the steak. We'll take the apps. We'll take everything. We won't take your bill though. You can keep that.
Yeah, keep that one. So is that the only time you've been to Vegas? Is like when we all went to NFR?
Yeah, I'm afraid to go by myself because I'm an animal, and I don't know if my wife will be able to control me.
Okay. In what ways? Like gambling, drinking, taking your clothes off, streaking the strip? Like what?
Jumping into the Bellagio fountains.
Jumping into the fountain would be crazy, but I don't think that I want to go back sometime else.
So it sounds like he needs like a group of people to hold him down there.
Yeah. I live a very careful life because we talked about this on the phone the other day, Amanda. I love drinking. I love smoking. I love partying. And I'm past it now. But Vegas is geared to losers like me, that they get you in there, they get you in the cycle, and next thing you know, my bank account has a negative in front of it, and I don't have a wife. I'm in jail.
That is really going downhill.
And there's a pending court case. I mean, I love everything that Vegas offers. That if I don't know, I'd make it sound like I'd lose control instantly. Just be in there, I'd be like, just crazy. But I don't know. I'd probably do okay. But no, I don't think I want to go unless I'm going. I don't know.
We would probably be pretty boring then for you to hang out with.
You guys would be perfect because I'll find whatever fun you guys have. Whereas if I go with my wife, we'll find our own fun, and that would be me being like, "Hey, how about you go to bed and I'll play blackjack for the next 12 hours?" I'll see you in the morning.
How about you go to bed?
Yeah, our fun in Vegas is good food and just walking around.
Yeah.
And Topgolf.
Yeah, Topgolf was a lot of fun. You would like that too. And they bring you food. I mean, you pay for it, but you don't have to go anywhere. The little waiter just comes over. He's like, "Do you want drinks? Do you want food?" He brings food. You can play Topgolf. It's awesome. Or play golf. It's awesome.
See, I'm okay with that. I've learned that food while doing entertainment is bad, and that's only because, now this isn't an admonition, but my wife's birthday, last year we were up there, we went to Triple Play, and we were bowling, and I thought it would be good to eat finger food while I was bowling, and I got horrible food poisoning, because I had my fingers in the bowling ball, and then I had fingers in my mouth, and then fingers in the bowling ball, and fingers in my mouth, and then I got violently ill.
That's so funny, but also terrible.
So I've learned, if you're gonna eat while you're doing entertainment, don't do finger food. But at Topgolf, I feel like
don't mix it. Maybe like we can sit
and then entertain,
eat, and then
yeah. I don't know if they come and clean the club handles or not.
I think it
would be
I could bring my own hand sanitizer and we could do it ourselves.
It would be a lot easier.
I've done this, a little scratch, and then grabbed a bowling ball. That's what I was eating.
Yeah.
That's rough.
Yeah, somebody went to the bathroom and came right back and grabbed that same bowling ball.
Yeah, and how easy is it to clean out the finger holes in a bowling
Nobody's
ball?
Nobody's ever cleaned out the finger holes in a bowling ball.
I don't really want to think about it.
They They might wipe the outside, but I don't think they're cleaning up the inside.
Yeah. Anyhow, so
probably not triple play, but
for sure not triple play.
A real bowling alley might.
The last time I hit a golf ball, it was in the shop, and we were seeing how hard we could hit them against.
Oh, okay.
We just hit them off the concrete with some like cheap clubs, and
in the goods and plumbing shop.
Yeah, and we hooked
probably
one.
The clubs you started with.
Probably.
Yeah, the ones that have a chip off the bottom of them. That's because we were.
That's probably
why
your one head went flying.
Oh, probably.
It's because they were hitting golf balls off the concrete.
It was Dad doing it with us.
I bought that set from Dad, and a few rounds later, I was at the U of I golf course, and the one like club, not the driver, but one just down from it, not an iron. I hit, and the shaft got really light, and I looked and just watched the head fly about 150 yards.
So what did you go? Did you go
for
the
ball?
Or
Was
did
perfect.
You go for the head? Oh, okay.
The thing is I didn't watch the ball, so I had no idea what had happened to it. So I got another club and hit another ball because I had no clue because I was just watching the head, and then found the ball after that, and it was probably
wasn't that one on the green because that was that short shot at.
No, it was right in the middle of the fairway.
Oh, it was.
And then you have to hit it over the lake or whatever to the green after that.
Well, no, because you've done that one in 2. You did that one in a shot and a putt.
If you're good, you can just hit it right for the green.
I'm not good.
Yeah, you are. You can drive the ball pretty good.
You can. Mm-hmm.
Your arms are 80 inches long and you're 5'2", dude. You can build up so much speed with the club. It's insane. Like a windmill. It goes 380-yard drive. Come on, quit talking. Oh, not that good. Like Happy Gilmore. If you can get him straight, you can 2-putt him one putt and a drive every time.
Amanda said you wanted to golf.
But I said though that he was a different speed of golf than you were.
Yeah.
Not serious.
No, I wanna play a game for $50 and get a little belligerent out there.
See, I told you, not your speed.
I would win $50. It sounds like.
I've never golfed in my life.
Deal.
I'll play you. Hey, everybody that has followed along, which has been Mom and my wife, knows I'll make bets with absolutely no courage in what I'm betting in. It's about the love of the game for me. It's not about winning the bet.
Which is why you're not good. You wouldn't be good in Vegas.
Which is why I bet my sister, who's an avid bowler, that I could beat her in a game not having bowled in years. So, and then I got thrashed 3 times in a row. It wasn't even close. So I'll bet you I can beat you in a game of golf. Never. I haven't hit a golf ball in 10 years.
But yeah, so it sounds like we need to take them to Vegas. Maybe we'll have to do it as like a celebration when Maddie's done with school. So like next May or June.
Year. Before it gets super hot.
Yeah, don't you think?
I'm down. I'm down to do.
And if we can tell Mom and Dad that maybe that could be a good birthday present to send her with some money, then. Or a good graduation present. But that's also around her birthday. Let's just pile it on.
Yeah.
We're making plans for her birthday already, and she doesn't know it. Maddie, if you're listening, hopefully you like these plans.
She better. Making plans for her.
But yeah, we'll, I guess, keep you contained. Not let you go.
Fine.
We'll put you on like a leash.
You'll be like,
walk you around on the
leash. That wouldn't be out of ordinary.
Probably not.
No. That'd be totally normal.
Yeah, I don't think people would look twice.
Mm-mm. I want to get a photo with the Chippendale models because last time we were there, I backed out of that, and I'm just trying to think of how funny that picture would be.
Chippendales are the men. So is that what you're hoping for?
I remember we saw them, and Dad said, "How about you and your sister get a picture with them?" And
You do mean the men.
Yes.
You want pictures of the men. Okay.
I'm sorry. This is important. You being with me in the picture was going to be the important part because you were running the other direction. I was thinking about how hilarious that picture would have been.
So are we needing, I have to be in on it too? Me.
Just me with the men is just a little bit weird.
So you, me, and the men. Okay.
Or the whole group. I don't know.
The whole group. You want to be rubbing up on a nice oily man?
No. I'll take the picture.
I never said nothing about them being oiled up.
I think that they're just...
But they are. That's part of their... That's part of their get-up. They have to look all shimmery with their pectorals and stuff.
You don't cook without oil. You don't take pictures without it neither.
Okay, well, we'll find some. They're everywhere.
I don't remember even seeing them when we were there in June.
I don't either.
They're out of season.
Out of season.
They were probably down on Fremont.
Maybe, yeah.
People that are listening to this podcast are gonna get the impression that we're a bougie family that's playing down. No, we're just scumbags. We've had 3 fun trips in our life. You've heard about all of them by now.
That's not quite true, but
Shh. Now I am playing it down.
Nashville?
Yeah,
Nashville was fun. Hey, comment below if your family's ever gotten in a game-changing fight on vacation. Comment below. Ours was Nashville. Changed our family dynamic for the rest of our lives. Happened in Nashville, Tennessee before the CMAs. Comment below.
I think that was Dad's way of trying to get us all to be friends again. It was the CMA fest.
I mean, we drove there, so we had 48 hours in the car to look forward to once we left.
Well, you guys were all just going to leave me there, and I was kind of just trying to think. You could have
been a country music star by now.
I was just thinking, what on earth am I going to be able to do for money here? I can't sing. I'm not old enough to be a bartender. I was like, I just don't know what I'm going to do if I get left here in Nashville.
That trip was like a pressure cooker. It started cooking at the soccer tournament, and then by the time we got to Nashville, it boiled over and exploded, and then it was just dead quiet all the way home.
And what did it start with? It all started with a hamburger.
Yes, it all started with a hamburger. But hey, this is where therapy is important. It wasn't about the hamburger. It was about, I don't really remember what. I just remember the Johnny Cash Museum wasn't very fun because Dad and I were there while other stuff was happening. We don't have to get in the whole family dynamic. But hey, I
didn't want to eat lunch, and apparently that was a deal breaker for me being part of the family.
Yeah.
You did a soccer tournament on the trip out?
In Montana.
Okay.
In Kalispell.
So you left here, went to Kalispell, played soccer, and then just headed east.
Yes.
Yeah. We saw Custer's National Park, Devil's Tower, Mount Rushmore. It was amazing. We were just knocking everything off the block. And then by the time we got back east, we see why they have higher crime statistics over there. I don't know. People are just a little bit different.
Oh, my gosh.
And then by the time we got to Nashville, what year is this? 2012?
Yeah.
I remember getting to Nashville and being like, this place is a dump. I think now it's nice because a lot of people moved there. But man, in 2012, that place was disgusting.
It was, yeah. And I was like, why is this such a high,
Why is it the music town, huh?
Everybody loves this place, and it's just kind of creepy and gross.
See what musicians are like people that are trying to make it as musicians.
Mm-hmm.
That's true.
Everyone's there, but they're all broke because they're broke musicians, so.
Yeah.
But I would like to go back because...
Mm-hmm.
Apparently it is a great city now.
I've heard that,
I've never been there.
It's 2012. Or sooner. Maybe it's 2011. And it's somewhere around in there.
I can't remember.
Yeah.
But Amanda didn't want to eat a hamburger. Huh?
And then we went to Branson, and we've been to San Antonio and San Diego, and...
I've been to Yuma, Arizona. I've been to Prince George, British Columbia.
Amanda's been to Paris.
I've been to Paris, yes. So, suck it. I even saw the Eiffel Tower. It does have a cowboy hat on it, but
that's okay.
It still is the Eiffel Tower.
You know where I've been? I've been to Arco, Idaho.
What?
Been to Craters of the Moon. You ever been there?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Oh, well, screw you guys. Never mind.
Committed a federal crime in Craters of the Moon.
Why would
Did you take a rock?
No.
Don't say anything. You got 15 years.
We stopped a little after the sign that says now leaving Craters of the Moon. We drove a little further, and out in the field there was still more of that pretty rock that they have, so we went out there and got one. But it was after the sign, so it was.
So not a federal crime.
That's a funny joke. Thank goodness that you're just joking.
So no crime was committed.
No crimes were committed. I think it's sitting over there.
No. You have no evidence to the joke you just told in your own home, sicko.
I'm just kidding. Why would we take a rock? It's just a rock. Do I look like someone that's obsessed with rocks?
No, not at all.
Exactly.
How many are in my pickup door?
Quite a few.
7 or 8. Yeah.
When I travel, I assume my dad's name. I tell everybody my name's Jay. That's a fun little James Bond trick I like to do.
I'm Jay.
My name is
Jay Goodson.
My name's Jay. And I was waiting for coffee one time. I was like, God, it's taking forever for them just to get out of mocha. And Jay had been sitting up on the counter for like 10 minutes. I forgot my own bit, damn it. Maddie's like, she came back from what she was doing. She's like, you're still waiting? I go, yeah, they haven't called Matthew yet. It's like, ooh, never mind.
My cousin, people struggle apparently with the name Malin. And so whenever we'd be somewhere eating, he'd go in and give a name, and all of a sudden they'd be like, Bob, table for Bob. And we're all standing around and no one moves. And I was like, did you like give your name as Bob? He's like, oh yeah. Because apparently people can't say Malin or spell it.
Well, even if you don't spell it right, I bet you could spell that out. Malin.
Seems like you could.
Well,
at the end of the day, it's Mailin. Malin.
Something.
I know that's not how it's spelled, but that's how it sounds phonetically.
Yeah.
I don't know why people would struggle, but he would give Bob and Matt and Bill, and you never knew what name it was. So if you heard just kind of a name like that, you kind of assumed it was probably for us.
Bob. It's fun. I'm trying to think of more stranger in a strange land type things I do on vacation. What was that play we went to in Branson? It was like Moses or Noah, but they used real animals and stuff like that. It was a musical.
I think it was.
Was it Moses?
It was Moses. Yeah.
Yes, because they split the Red Sea.
Mm-hmm.
That was cool because I guess I love musicals. It turns out I do like musicals. That's the kind of guy I am.
Oh.
Was that like the start of your love of it?
I guess so, but I remember it was really cool because they had like the goats and the sheep and the camels like running down the aisles. It's like holy, like I could have just reached out and grabbed a sheep as they ran by, and they're doing like all the show and everything. That was the most impressed I've been in a live performance in a while.
I could hardly focus on it. Because before it started, this very sweet old lady sat next to me, and I was like, "Oh, she was like grandma." And then during the show, she kept coughing up loogies, spitting them on the floor, and smearing them around with her foot. And as somebody that gags from that, it took all my power to keep it together. I was like, "She's not like grandma." Okay, I don't know who this lady is, but I thought she was a sweet old lady, and you're just and smeared it around with her foot, and I'm like,
just smeared it into the carpet.
That's probably the same lady that went bowling before me up at Triple Play. She was hiding loogies into the finger holes of the ball.
Exactly. You gotta watch out for those little old ladies.
I remember, you have the worst luck. Does this follow you? Is this your thing? Because you have the lady at STK, you have the lady at the show in Branson.
Yeah.
You have the guy that puked on you and Dad at a football game.
Yeah. And at the fair, Shanna and I had someone throw up on us.
Oh my goodness.
You had a lady that you got on her
because 5 feet away.
Because she gave a thumbs down during the anthem at the Lewiston Roundup, and you got in a verbal disagreement with her that wasn't appropriate or something like that.
They didn't stand for the anthem.
Oh, that's what it was.
That was just a couple years ago.
Yeah.
That was last week, for God's sake.
Hey, I look around, so if you're sitting by me, you better be standing up, or we're going to have words.
That's what I look forward to the most. Before we let you dive into this, is that the Roundup is leaving there? Is everybody else getting real hot and bothered about it and getting ready to fight because you have about 19 Bud Light?
Yeah, and you're just ready to rip.
Mm-hmm. And I'm okay. I don't want to fight you. You'll beat my ass anyway. But I enjoy watching it out the window.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, then you got all the people trying to leave the parking lot, and nobody knows how it works. And
Lewiston's is okay.
it's gotten a little better, but you still have people that are like trying to cut off other people, and it's like, actually, you're going to be one whole car length in front. It's not going to be any faster than if you did just every other, and we actually could pretty much rip and roar out of here.
The worst parking lot situation we've ever dealt with was kind of during COVID or whatever. Like we went to this demolition derby in Lewiston that was up at where they have their new arena for like motocross and all that.
On the grade there, right?
Yeah, and we were stuck in traffic for like an hour and a half just to get up there because it was their first event, and then everyone was so excited, like it was just like sold out or whatever. Everyone was so excited to get out of their house.
It was like August of 2020, so everybody, it was like the first outing people had in 7 months. So.
Yeah. And getting out of there was terrible. Like, we about got ran into, and there was revving going on and honking, and
everybody in their big old pickups were vroom, 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 trying to cut you off, or you trying to cut. It was like, oh my goodness.
Luckily, I was not
getting there at the same time.
I was not a driver.
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
Leaving the fireworks in Coeur d'Alene was bad. I remember that was bad. If I hadn't had so much to drink, I would have been more adamant I could drive. I was kind of used to that kind of stuff. I fell asleep instantly.
Was that?
I was with you.
Well, was that when the guy was talking to Nolan?
Oh, yeah, that guy was hammered talking to Nolan.
Okay, I was like, I couldn't remember who was with him.
I can't even remember what he was saying.
I mean, neither. He just showed up at the window and was just talking.
I mean, he put his arms up in the window like this. I was like, whoa, buddy.
Well, he wanted you to let a guy in. He's like, you gotta let him in, okay, brother?
Talking like a black dude.
You gotta let
dude.
Him. You gotta let him in.
I remember he was saying brother. He said brother.
In Coeur d'Alene.
Yeah. Let's see. So do you guys I'm big team drive places. Do you guys like driving or flying when you travel?
Driving.
Okay.
I do. Someone else likes flying.
I like flying. But
I don't dislike flying. If I can drive there, I'd like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
See a little bit. Well, I guess the crappy thing is, it takes 12 hours to drive somewhere. You lose, 2 days of your vacation, traveling somewhere. So.
Really, though? Do you? Because if you do it in one day, is that really any more time than you're spending at an airport, between the fact that they always have like 37 layovers for a flight that should be a straight through flight, but they don't have straight through flights. So you're getting on and off a plane and you're dealing with stupid people in an airplane. I would much rather be in my car just driving. I can have my snacks. I can have my pop. Nobody's checking to make sure I don't have anything illegal in my baggage. And I can just have a time. I don't have to get on. I don't have to get off the plane. I don't have to try to find my gate.
No one's filling you up at the airport.
No one's filling me up at the airport.
I was meeting 12 of their 12 bags. I was getting 2 days. But the last time I went to the airport, I went through their little scanner and it went off and the guy pointed at the screen and the red dot could not have been more on my penis. I was like, there is no way this is happening to me right now.
This is how he's telling us.
And so I pulled my pockets out, and there's nothing in my pockets, and I lifted my shirt up, and I don't have a belt on, and I said, dude, just do what you got to do. You know what I mean? The red dot could not have been. I was like, I don't have any piercings. I'll get that out of the way right now. The guy just did a quick pat down. It was professional and everything, but it was funny.
The back of his hand.
Yeah, but when he turned the screen to me, I knew that there was I could not have been anywhere more else. It wasn't off to the side at all. Like it was in a hip. It was right on it. I was like, crap. I was like, dude, I have no idea what's picking up on. I wish I would have had a piercing. That would have been funny, Like, you want to take a look at it? Prince Albert, you ever seen one of them? But.
Jeez. Yeah. That's funny. The last couple times I haven't gotten in trouble. There was like a period of time, my whole life until like the last 3 flights, where every single time, for some reason, I had to be touched. Okay. And it might be, I figured, because now Nolan's like, Nolan wants us to look more classy when we fly now. So
I get tired of everyone just in their nasty pajamas. Okay.
But I know that I used to fly in my sparkly, jeans and stuff. And I think that's what kept getting me felt up, was the sparkly jeans. So now in my leggings, nobody has to touch me. And now he wants me to look fancy again.
So if we go back to that,
so if I start getting felt up again, I'm going back to the sweatpants. I don't want to be touched. They're like, "Can we touch you?" Well, no, but I don't think you're going to let me on the plane if I don't let you.
There's no other way to do it. It's we keep bringing him up. Grandpa Ray is a metal worker, and he always leaves something metal in his pocket, and then and he's got steel in his spine and his back and everywhere else. Mm-hmm. So when we were flying with him, every time he had to go through a metal detector, they had to take him into the back room and strip him down. Strip him down and wand him. He left his pocket knife out in his pocket. You know, he's an old guy. He always got his pocket knife on him. And they made it seem like he had a machete and was ready to kill the airplane. Poor Grandma she was so done with Grandpa. You know, he's like, oh, that's just like a depth gauge. Like, no, that's metal. You can't have that in the detector. You know what I mean? He just left work and left stuff in his pocket. So you and him, bad luck everywhere you go.
I know. Yeah. Grandma's always teasing me about that her and Grandpa gave me bad luck, and I was like, "Oh, well, thanks. I could have used something else." But
I am with you on the. I hear what you're saying. I don't dress up, but I don't like leaving the house in sweatpants anyway, and especially I always have a fear that my bags are going to get lost. So I always wear clothes that are versatile when I go, you know, jeans and a nice shirt or something like that.
Oh yeah.
Nice shirt being an actual, you know, not a tank top.
Yeah.
And also I'm a sweaty guy. I wear a tank top on an airplane. I'm public enemy number one. I'm dripping.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess it must have been like one time with Mom and Dad, our bags got lost, or maybe not even that. Maybe it's just like an irrational fear we have or something. But yeah, in my carry-on, I always have, you know, changes of clothes.
Wasn't there a time that, you lost something and then you were just supposed to wear Matthew's underwear?
Well, no, that's because they didn't get packed.
Oh.
My mom, that was when I took over packing for myself. Okay, I was 7, and that's when I took over packing for myself because there were no underwear for me packed, so I was wearing Matthew's.
So you did it.
2 years younger than me.
You were 7, so a 5-year-old.
But he was a small 5-year-old, okay, and I was a big 7-year-old. So to split that difference, I was being squished.
My wife and I had something very similar, except for first on our most recent trip to Alaska, I didn't pack mine, so I had
to wear hers.
Yeah.
Gotta do what you gotta do, I guess.
I don't know. I kind of liked it, but
hanging in a little out.
I said that. Nobody said nothing. I've been working on that for 5 minutes in my head. No. That's funny. What trip was that you were?
Disneyland.
Disney World?
Disneyland. And then remember you and I both got sick?
Yeah, we got food poisoning in Disneyland in 2005. You know what's up.
And I was being blamed because I didn't eat. They were like, it's because you didn't eat enough or whatever. Because I was so excited, like I wasn't hungry.
Yeah.
And so, but they're like, you didn't eat enough. Well, then I ate some mini corn dogs, and I was sick for the next day and a half. So I think it would have just been better if I would have been left alone.
You guys it's scary for you guys to eat on trips.
That's the only time I've ever had food poisoning on a trip.
I get it every time I eat out. I get sick. I mean, not every time.
It's like
every other.
Too rich or something.
Yeah, don't worry. We talked about that. People don't need to hear about my intestines anymore. No, it is something that affects me on a day-to-day thing. So it's easy for me to, think it's normal. It's okay.
I don't know. I can't even think of the last time I got food poisoning.
Probably the fair.
I think that was. And that was it was Disneyland, and it was the Coeur d'Alene Fair. And I still eat mini corn dogs, but I will not eat another elk burger from the fair.
Yeah. Well, okay.
It turned out it was like a raw elk burger.
Oh. So.
Which I'm already I don't like pink in my burgers already, but I was like, well, it's probably okay. I was like, I just can.
It wasn't okay.
It wasn't okay.
Mine hit a day before hers, and it was rough.
Well, I think you ate more than me, because I only ate half of it till I saw how pink it was in the middle, and I'm talking red. And I was like, okay, I can only do so much, because I'm already weird with hamburger. I'm very picky. I'll eat a steak, however, whatever. Like, if I order it medium and it comes medium rare, that's fine. If it comes rare, that's fine. But if a burger comes any more than, slightly baby pink, I'm like, I can't. Okay,
Yeah.
I just can't do it.
So,
but for sure, after this whole experience,
my scoutmaster was Ron Richards, and he was head of Vandal Meats. And when we were doing like our food safety class, he would always talk to us about meat and what you should look for, and how if you can, you should always come talk to him, and he would try and cut you a deal from the meats department, everything like that. And when it came to cooking temp, he said that you shouldn't have anything other than a very light pink in your burger. That's how you know your burger is safe, because when you chop it, and he said if you have anything over 135 inside a steak, you're fucking it up. He told that to a bunch of 11-year-olds. You can edit that part out. But we were 11, and that's what he told us. Anything over 135 in a steak, you're effing it up. But anything under, 160 in a burger, you're going to die. It's like, okay, Ron, you're the expert, man. This is your life.
Yep.
That's funny.
So, yeah, anyhow, I'm sorry. That's how Ron said it, so that's how I had to say it. It was great.
That's hilarious. Yeah.
Having an adult talk to you like that when you're a kid was nice. It was.
Mm-hmm.
There's a reel that I've seen where it's like an audio or whatever, and there's a guy, he's like, the little kid's like, how do we do our steaks? And the dad's like, medium rare. What if not everyone likes medium rare? And the dad's like, we politely but firmly ask them to leave.
Mm-hmm. Get them out of here. We're a rare steak family. Ron was great. He's dead now. He died at a Vandal game. But he also told us, he said, sorry, that's an aside. I just thought that's worth noting. He's a diehard Vandal, right? He was great. He also told us lots of nuggets of wisdom, but he said that if we wanted to take a girl out to a nice steak dinner, if we spent less than $200, it wasn't nice enough. And so I've always taken that to heart, that if you take a girl out for a nice steak dinner, it better be more than $200, because otherwise it's not a night. It's just a steak dinner. A nice steak dinner is $200 plus.
Nice.
Ron had a bunch of nuggets for us. He was telling us about dating. He was telling us about me. He told us about fighting a little bit. It was all kinds of stuff.
All the stuff that you need as a boy.
As a young man, that's what dating, fighting, and meat. That's okay. Well, we were on travel. I'm sorry, until we started talking about meat. Okay. Let's see. Where do you guys want to go in your travel future? Your rednecks from Idaho. Fill us in.
Well, I mean, the only actual plans we have is.
I don't want actual plans. I want dreams here.
Well, fine.
In the next 10 years,
I think Bali would be fun.
Bali.
Mm-hmm.
I was looking at the Airbnbs and stuff. They were pretty affordable and really nice.
Yeah.
But I was hoping on some of this stuff, it would be fun to go with family. I don't know.
Yeah, but would it?
Well, I don't know.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the thing. I think that doing a family trip like that is cool. But I also think that not being attached at the hip the whole time is kind of important. Maybe you're staying at the same place or in the same area.
Yeah.
You can get one of those big 8-bedroom houses and hey, I'm going golfing, you're going snorkeling, I'm going fishing, you guys are going to go shopping. You know what I mean? Not because I think if you go the whole time you're attached to the hip, it's going to be another repeat of Nashville. But
that's what's nice, is that you can each do kind of your own thing. Because or even if we did go to Cancun or something like that, where if we did have a fishing trip and you men went fishing and I just sat by the pool and everybody left me alone, I would be fine with that too.
Yeah, and I'm sure you and Nolan would want to go to a dinner by yourself once or twice or 3 times, Yeah,
because we like to have more than a hamburger or something.
Yeah, and
you like to have more than what's in the hotel. I hear you.
And where we went in Jamaica for our honeymoon was a lot of fun, and the place that we rented would be a lot of fun to have family at, because there were 3 different houses of different sizes, and so you could almost rent all 3 of them for the same price as it would cost to rent a hotel for a week. But you would each kind of have your own house, and then you can go, if you're tired of people, you can go to your house and shut the door and you can just be I need a minute or whatever. But it also is private for swimming, and you wouldn't be like at a resort, so you would be kind of by yourself.
It's gated.
Yeah, but like something like that would be fun. We want to go back to Jamaica. I think maybe Bali. Maybe somewhere in Mexico.
Is Bali in the Caribbean or is that South Pacific?
South Pacific. I think.
Okay.
But like, what would be fun too is like, I know they say cruises are pretty bad, I guess. I don't know.
Mm-hmm. You get all the tourist traps.
Yeah, but like a cruise or something around like the Caribbean, I think would be a lot of fun. Something where like you could stop on different islands or different places, but maybe just figuring that out yourself would be more affordable and fun. I don't know. Also, I think it'd be really fun to do another cruise to Alaska that had the same stops that we did, because I really liked Skagway and Ketchikan.
Those were fun places. The train ride was really fun.
Yeah.
Take you up in the mountains, see the pass and everything.
Yeah, that was really fun. So I would like to do that again. And but I don't know. Those are some of the things. But then, like, we're going to Vegas in August again for like a conference.
Oh, World of Concrete.
Yeah.
World of Tile.
Yeah.
World of Tile.
I should see if I'm sure there is something like that I should go to. Probably be another.
You should
reason
figure
to go to
out
Vegas.
other.
Give yourself a thin set spread competition. Get in there.
Yeah.
Well, you would actually have to talk to all the places to figure out
Stuff. No,
sounds like I would be bored out of my mind. So maybe that's when I invite you and Maddie down.
see how wild I can get without breaking the law.
I'm going with her to hair stuff, so she can come with me to.
But yeah, so we're gonna be with a bunch of Mennonites and then other people, but like
that'd be fun.
Yeah, but
Vegas is one of the places that it is what you make of it. If you want to get drunk and wild in Vegas, there's that. But if you want to just like walk around and have fun and stay out of trouble, that's definitely an option.
It seems like half the people on her team are like bummed because they're like, we're not partiers, we're not this.
That's what I was like. I've been trying to tell him. I'm like, we're not really partiers either, and we have a ton of fun. We just like, you can walk around and look at all the pretty hotels. Just walking around is so fun.
Looking into
Swarovski,
and what's the other the fancy bags?
Like
Coach and Gucci
and Gucci, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Marcus Lehman.
You kind of look in as you walk by.
Because they have someone at the door checking what we think is your bank account, so I don't think they would let us in. They would
go into Swarovski and be like, "Yeah, where's your rifle scopes at?"
Yeah,
they'd be like,
"Hey, I
didn't know."
Section.
Well, he was so excited.
We're walking down like a Swarovski store here. Like, let's go look at this. Yes! Let's go check out some spotting scopes.
It took me a second when he said that. I was like, wait, nope, that's not what you're thinking it is.
I think it's the same company, but
it is the same company, but yeah. But
diamonds versus optics.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And much more expensive than optics, I'm guessing.
Yeah.
Anyway, what are your guys' dreams? Any places where you're like, we gotta go? Oh, Ireland would be fun to go to. I had to add.
Yeah, actually, we would. I heard the Guinness is way better in Ireland, and I'd love to go try that, but.
Anyway, so I interrupted you. Where are some of the places you want to go?
I want to go to Maine.
Okay.
And I want to go when it's not in season. Yeah, I want to go. Lobster. I want to go to Maine. I want to go to Australia. I've heard Australia is great. I've heard that the people there are. I'd get along there, so I'd have to go with family because if you don't drink in Australia, that means you only get buzzed. That's what not drinking is. So if you do drink in Australia, that means you're a crazy alcoholic. So.
I'm just not sure I'd make it back alive from Australia. I've heard about all the poisonous, deadly things there, and I'm just not sure I'm tough
New Zealand might be safer.
New Zealand would be fun. I want to go elk hunting in New Zealand because that's like a resort stay, and then also you shoot an elk. So you're looking at like $15,000, but that's okay.
Maddie's going to be making a lot of money soon.
I hope. I have fancy tastes. No, I want to go to Northern Australia. Is
not that you know him, but you know who Adam Greentree is?
I'm familiar with him.
The other day, I was helping Ed Westbrook, and he's like, Adam Greentree called me this morning. He was bored, sitting in New Zealand on like a 4-day hunt trip or something, and he was bored, so he
just called to check up. I know that he was familiar with those people.
Ed said that next time he's out here, he'll have to introduce me, so I'll bring you along.
Nah.
Ed said
I'd say something stupid.
Ed said he's the best bow hunter he's ever seen in his life, and he's seen a lot of.
He's seen a lot. I know he knows.
He was name dropping. He was name dropping the other day.
Well, yeah, Ed's kind of an impressive character. He knows a lot of people. But no, I want to go to Australia. I want to go to North Australia because I'm not into like surfing or anything like that. I hear North Australia is where the rednecks are. I had a buddy that lived there. He's from there. And I was asking him, I go, because I know Dad wants to go there, but Dad wants to go there because he saw Quigley down under. So a little different story. I want to go to North Australia. That's where like the guys that like make the, they hang like a chicken in the water and you watch the crocodiles come up and get them. He said, that's where those guys are. That's where the rednecks are. And I said, that's where we need to go. That's where we'll fit in.
Those are our people.
Yeah. He says it's close to like Indonesia or whatever, straight north of them.
Yeah, because I was just looking to make sure where Bali was, and it's straight north of Australia, not very far.
So that's where you're seeing a lot of like the little like beaches with islands and stuff like that is up in there. So that's where I want to go.
You can be on the North Australian coast. We'll be at Bali and we'll wave at each other.
I'll wave like this. Anyhow, Australia, Maine. I'm trying to think where else would be fun.
You want to like see a Maine moose?
In a perfect world.
Aren't there? I think their moose over there are huge. Like
they have huge bodies. Their racks aren't as big, but their bodies are massive.
They're like the bigger species than what we have.
Because the ones we have are the smallest, which are Shiras, and then Yukon, I think, is the biggest, of course, and then there's two others. There's the ones they have in BC and the ones they have in Maine.
And then there's also a species in Europe somewhere.
Yes, they're the ones they have in Finland. I guess Northern Europe.
Somewhere, I didn't know where it was.
Finland and then Scandinavia. Scandinavia is a location, not a country. But anyhow. Denmark.
Okay, so big bodies, but not big racks.
I think the racks do get big. It might be something like Washington has with their mule deer, where you could only take moose over a certain size for so long that they think that it kind of changed the genetics in their area. But I didn't know. I'm sure that they get big too, but the ones I've seen on like TV and
maybe the racks just look small because the bodies are so big.
They have big racks. They're not like a bullwinkle like I shot. They do get big, but not like Yukon big. Yeah. And I don't know. I haven't even seen some around Idaho that were fairly impressive racks. 90% of them weren't, but
I think I want a pet moose.
Yeah.
How are you gonna have a?
Well, I'm going to have to go kidnap one, and then I'm going to raise it. And then it'll be my pet.
As a baby.
Yeah. I'm going to have to run quick to get away from the mama moose.
Yeah.
Anyway, where else would you like to go?
Oh, man.
He's going to be a world traveler.
I want to go to Neuschwanstein in Germany. That's like the fairy tale castle. I want to go there. I had plans to go there and then coronavirus happened, so that crushed my European vacation.
You and Grandma were going to go, right?
Yeah,
and Mom.
Mom.
Oh yeah, that's right.
I'd really love to go to do that because that's been.
You can go sing your musicals in the castle.
Singing "Defying Gravity" in Neuschwanstein is crazy, though. I don't know if that's even what it's called. Neuschwanstein? Something like that. Anyway, the Mad Duke's castle.
I realized I like musicals.
Yeah. I'm trying to think what...
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou?
Oh, Brother, Where Art Thou is a musical.
Do not seek the treasure.
Mm-hmm.
We thought you was a toad.
Do not seek the treasure.
I really like. He's talking with the blind guy. You'll see a cow on the roof of a cotton shed. You will find treasure, but it is not the treasure of which you seek. I can't remember what else he says.
He has a lot of stuff. Yeah,
I always say that to my wife. I go, "You will see a cow upon the roof of a cotton shed."
We were just watched that last weekend, and as like I don't know who dreams this stuff up. Like it's based off of a book or something, right? Some sort of story. And I was like, I don't even know how who came up with this stuff that's in here. It's wild. But then the one guy, he's like, these people, they're not white. They interrupted a lynching earlier. And I would know I'm that part of a certain society. I don't think I have to say which one. He's running for governor, and he's
mayor or governor.
Part of a certain society.
Part of a certain society. I don't think I have to name which one it is.
What is that book? As it takes place in the South. That probably the book took place in Paris, Texas, man.
I don't know. They're over in like Tennessee and
a little further
Kentucky.
east.
Yeah, I'm gonna look it up.
Mississippi, right? Because they're in the Delta, so like Mississippi, Arkansas, somewhere in there.
Yeah, because I know they like the one thing I know that one guy had to order car parts, and they was a couple weeks out from Bristol. I'm assuming they meant Bristol, Tennessee.
What a dumb movie.
Yeah.
So where else would you like to go?
I don't know. You guys, I would like to go to Jamaica, but I'd like to go to Jamaica as a family. I don't know if I could get Dad to Australia. He says he wants to go, but I don't think he knows it's like 20 hours in an airplane to get there.
Yeah, well, he just needs to just do it. What?
It's based off of a poem.
A poem.
A poem.
Loosely based on Homer's epic Greek poem, the Odyssey.
Oh, it's based off of the Odyssey? No way.
Oh, that makes a lot more sense.
That makes sense. The hero's journey, he returns.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. I guess.
That makes more sense now.
Yeah, well, the Odyssey takes place in Greece. And
I guess I'll have to read the Odyssey.
Don't.
You wouldn't like it, trust me. I'll give you 100 better book recommendations that are about a hero's journey. Don't worry about it. But just seeing, because when we were in Alaska, which is still not even very much of a culture shock, but seeing Dad outside of Idaho is the most fun you can have. A guy that's never really, I know he's been other places, but not for too long.
When he just eats a spoonful.
Yeah. Let me get into this. So he got a bento box after I explained to him what a bento box was. I go, it's kind of like an entree and you get a couple sides, different things. I go, Dad, you'll really like a bento box. It's what you're used to. And in the center of the bento box is the green paste called wasabi, which is, I don't know, it's hot, right? Everybody's had it, except for my dad. And it's me, my dad, and Uncle Gene, who's also a reoccurring character of our show. God, that's a reoccurring character, too. Every time. People keep ODing, and I live right by the fire station. They have to honk their horn right when they go by my place because they know I'm trying to record a podcast. And so we're all talking because we're all talkers. And Dad unconsciously just grabs the big glob of wasabi off the center of the bento box and eats it. And me and Gene see this, but it doesn't register what we just saw. And then Dad is getting red and sweating. And I like I say, this hasn't processed what I've seen. I go, Dad, what's up? And he goes, that guacamole was hot. And Uncle Gene, you idiot! That's wasabi! He's screaming in the restaurant, screaming at Dad. That's wasabi, not guacamole, you idiot! Guacamole's from Mexico. This is a Japanese restaurant. Just screaming. And Dad is drinking Dad doesn't. If you drink off a glass of water, Dad won't touch it. Dad is chugging everybody's water. Never seen Dad share water with anybody, but he gulped mine down instantly. And Uncle Gene's. I mean, he asked, did you drink out of that? As he starts drinking it. And the waitress comes over, and Uncle Gene is laying on thick. My idiot brother just ate that green shit thinking that it was guacamole. Would you bring us as many waters as you have? And he's chugging. It's so funny. So seeing Dad, and then that was outside of the continental United States of America. So seeing Dad in another country across the world would be honestly the highlight of my life, because I'm not well traveled. I'm an idiot too. So we'll get right into it. We'll be the ugly American stereotype. We'll walk right into it. So,
will we have fanny packs and knee-high socks?
No.
Okay.
I'll have the knee-high socks, but I'll have denim on over them. Don't worry about it.
Okay.
I feel like I see Americans. They say that when they go to Europe, they're supposed to like dress like the Europeans, and they dress like somebody that went to a facility for mental issues. So I'd like to just go to Europe and then just wear, normal clothes. Jeans and shoes and a shirt. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah.
Why do you have to wear khakis and a dress shirt and a weird little hat? Like you're from Peaky Blinders? You think they still dress like that over there? You idiot. You got to wear a petticoat everywhere you go? Are you an idiot? Anyhow.
Well, we'll have to figure out how much money it costs to get to. Oh my goodness. Get to Australia and stay there.
I know
we got to figure it out. I've never even looked into Australia, so I don't know.
I have. It's fairly inexpensive, air quotes around it, once you get there, but it's like $3,000 round trip. Or I think it's like $1,800 to fly there one way, so it's almost like $4,000 to fly.
Okay.
I think it's the same with Bali, where it's not very much money when you're there, relatively speaking, but
just so far away.
It's once you get 20 hours to fly there, so it's Whereas other places, it's $1,000 to fly there, but it's.
So is the zoo in the northern, southern, middle? Where's the zoo at?
In Australia,
like the Irwin's, like the Australia Zoo.
I'm sure that's probably most of the population centered on like the east coast. I think that's called the Gold Coast. That's where like Bondi Beach is, and Sydney and Brisbane is in the south, I believe.
Yeah, I guess if I went, I would want to see some of that stuff too. Oh yeah, it's on.
It's on the Gold. It's on the Gold Coast.
Brisbane. I don't know how far it is, but like, if we were gonna go all the way there, I'd like to see like that coast probably.
Now let me tell you this.
I mean, the rednecks are fine, but I'd also like to go to the zoo.
I mistakenly told my buddy. I said I said Australia's not very big. It'd be fun to drive around there, and he called me an idiot. And Australia is about the size of the lower 48. It's really close. It's huge.
Yeah.
So
that's where I'm like trying to figure out like
you have to fly from there to like the North Coast
so we probably have to fly once we're there to places.
Yeah. And the highway does go along the coast. You could probably rent a car. I don't know. What's it cost to rent a car?
I don't know.
You spend a couple days driving.
But then like driving wise, is that? I mean, you would see a lot more if you actually drove.
I mean, you wouldn't want to suicide drive it. That wouldn't be any fun, but you stop a couple times on your way.
Well, yeah, and if you were driving, you could just stop and look at whatever. Because I'm sure they have stuff kind of like we do. If you're driving down the interstate and it's like a random like, come look at this or whatever, and we could be like, oh, let's go look at that.
Mm-hmm.
But because that would be fun. So I guess I don't know. Everybody's got the hots for what is his name? Robert Irwin? Is that Steve Irwin's son?
Oh yes, his young child.
Because he did like a underwear thing.
Oh, did he? I haven't seen this.
Oh, okay. Well, it's just
gives me something to look up in my free time.
I guess I'm on the wrong side of the internet. Okay, but all these women are like going crazy about it, and they're like, if anyone could handle a cougar, it's him or whatever. And it's been scary for me to see these women because they are apparently got the hots for him. I have not seen said commercial, but I know what song is playing it because everybody, when they're talking about it, is playing like this, like outbacky kind of song. I don't know. Maybe that sounds racist. I don't know. I don't know what the term is for the song. Yes, something like that. Yes. Yeah. Anyway, that's in there. The funniest one I saw is that this lady, I follow her. She's like a conservative lady, but she's gay. And so she's like, I'm 99.9% gay, except that 1.1%. And then it starts playing this song that's in this commercial. Mm-hmm. And that was like the funniest one. Because I've seen a lot of women talking about it, but that one really cracked me up. So Anyway, there's that. You can go look up. I think it's Robert Irwin.
Robert Irwin.
I think it's Bondi or something. I don't even think Bondi.
Yeah, that's like their big beach.
Okay, so then
it's like it's.
So then famous. Is it Calvin Klein then? Because that's like what the underwear name.
Bondi
is.
Might be a swimsuit brand.
Maybe that's what it is. We're gonna look it up on Nolan's phone.
That's okay.
No, I'm gonna do it. Don't go anywhere.
No, I'm not going anywhere. No, but that's like their picturesque, like you're thinking like perfect sandy beaches, and like surfing.
Bonds ad.
Oh, okay.
Oh, I don't want to see it.
Yeah, you do. Come on. What are you? 99% straight? Come on. It's blurry, but that's all I need to see. Wow. I didn't know
he's got like a snake around. Oh.
I didn't know.
I don't know why I won't.
It's better when it's blurry. I can imagine it's me.
Anyway, so I guess, so everybody's got the hots for
I didn't know wrestling gators made you look like that.
I don't need that.
I was trying to show
set
you.
Set his screen, set his wallpaper.
All right, let's wrap this up.
Let's wrap this up.
Come on. Don't get uncomfortable now, Nolan.
He's done with us, I guess.
I'm done.
Come on, we're not done with travel ambitions yet. I got another 30 minutes to go here.
Now he wants to go see Robert.
Yeah, he really wants to go to Australia.
You're sick. That's not even what I was trying to get at. But I mean, you're right. I used to watch Steve. I wonder where their wildlife rescue is. Sounds like we're going to Australia.
You know what?
2030, Australia. Let's rip it.
You know what I think? Okay. Now that I think back at my life, I think Steve Irwin's death was the start of me not believing anything, okay? Because there's no way this man who hangs out with crocodiles doesn't see a stingray and gets stabbed with it and dies, okay? There's just no way that this man, that's just not how he died, okay? So I'm pretty sure we were lied to about how he died. And I think someone took him out. That's what I'm just going to say.
I believe a lot of crazy conspiracy theories, and I haven't heard of this one, so I'm gonna go for it.
I've started it, or maybe hopefully someone else has, because that was a long time ago. You'll have to look it up.
This is to the guy that killed Steve. We will find you.
Yeah.
Okay.
This has been another episode of the Lone Jack Totally Off Track podcast.